The cashier does not look up when you say hello. You make a small joke about the rain, the kind that usually buys half a smile, and she reads out the total in a flat voice and looks past your shoulder to the person behind you. 11 hours later, you are lying in the dark and her voice is still in the room. Your friend of 10 years sent you a message that morning, a good one, and you have not thought about it since. Why is the stranger still here, and where did your friend go? Something is wrong with the accounting. A decade of someone showing up sits in your chest weighing almost nothing, and 4 seconds of indifference from a woman whose name you never learned sits there like a stone. If you tried to defend this arithmetic out loud, to a jury, you could not, and yet you live by it. Psychologists have a name for the pattern. Roy Baumeister called it a general principle: bad is stronger than good. Insults outlast compliments. One criticism in a page of praise is the sentence you memorize. The finding is real, and it explains nothing. It tells you the scale is tilted. It does not tell you why your mind decided, without asking you, that a stranger has the right to weigh you at all. Consider what your mind is actually doing when it lets that cashier in. It is not merely feeling hurt, it is admitting evidence. It has treated 4 seconds of dismissal as information about your worth, as a finding rather than a mood, and it has filed the finding permanently. Hegel wrote that we do not simply have a self and then show it to others. We become a self through recognition, through being acknowledged by another consciousness who was free to withhold it. And there is the trap, sitting in plain sight. Recognition only feels like proof when it could have been refused. Your friend cannot refuse you. Not really. 10 years in, her warmth is expected, structural, already yours, and so some quiet clerk in the back of your mind stamps it inadmissible. She has to say that. The stranger has to say nothing. He owes you no kindness, has no history with you, gains nothing by flattering you, and so his contempt arrives with the terrible credibility of the disinterested witness. Adam Smith imagined that each of us builds an impartial spectator inside, a neutral judge to see us as others would. The stranger walks in wearing that judge's robes. He did not steal them. You handed them over. Impartial and uninformed are not the same thing. The cashier has no stake in you. This is true. She also has no knowledge of you. She saw a silhouette at a till at the end of a 9-hour shift, and whatever passed across her face was made almost entirely out of her own day. Her verdict on you contains no evidence about you. It is not a clear-eyed judgment. It is an empty one, and you have been carrying it around as though it were a court ruling, while the people who have spent years gathering an actual case file are not permitted to testify. That arrangement is worse than irrational. It is a quiet cruelty, and it is aimed at the people who love you. Look at what you have built, a court in which only the hostile have standing. Everyone who knows you well has been disqualified precisely because they know you well, their loyalty read as bias, their affection read as obligation. The kinder someone is to you, the less their word counts. Meanwhile, every rude stranger is granted a seat on the bench for free, and you call this realism, and you call yourself hard to fool. Why would anyone build such a thing? Here is the uncomfortable part. You keep the court open because you want an acquittal, and you want it from someone who cannot be accused of kindness. A verdict from a stranger would be cheap, fast, and clean. It would prove your worth without your having to be known, without 10 slow years of someone watching you be selfish and tired and afraid and staying anyway. You are not really afraid of the rude stranger. You are hoping for the kind one, the one who will look up and smile and settle the question in a second. The stone in your chest is the bill for that hope. Most advice at this point offers you armor. Do not let it get to you. Grow a thicker skin. The trouble with armor is that it concedes everything. It leaves the court standing, leaves the stranger on the bench, and simply asks you to endure the sentence with a straighter back. Epictetus is usually recruited for this, which is a shame, because he was saying something far stranger. He said that when a man insults you, it is your own judgment that the insult means something which does the damage. Not that you should withstand the verdict, that the verdict requires your signature. You can withdraw the signature. Not as a technique, not as a mantra to repeat while the sting does its work anyway, but as a question about jurisdiction. Who gets to say what you are worth? Answer it deliberately, once, in daylight, the way you would decide who holds a key to your house. The cashier is not on that list. She never applied. You conscripted her. Simone Weil wrote that attention, real attention, is almost impossibly rare, and that to give someone your full attention is a form of generosity, so demanding that most people never manage it. Hold your two evidences up against that. The cashier gave you nothing, not even hostility, just the automatic blankness of a person too depleted to see anyone. Your friend gave you 10 years of noticing. She remembered the date your father died. She learned how you go quiet before you go honest. If attention is the currency of being seen, one of these people is rich and the other is not even in the room. Nothing here will stop the sting. Tomorrow, a driver will lean on the horn, or someone will cut you off mid-sentence at work, and your chest will do the cold thing it always does, because a nervous system does not read philosophy. What can change is what happens next, in the 2 seconds after. You can notice, with something close to amusement, that you are once again holding a robe out to a stranger, and you can put it down. Then go and read the message your friend sent this morning. Read it as evidence. Let it be admissible. That is the whole of the work, and it will take you the rest of your life, not defending yourself in a rigged court, but slowly, stubbornly, moving the weight back onto the scale where it belonged all along. The people who love you have been testifying for years. You have simply not been counting it. If this gave you something to sit with, that is what this channel is for. Small shifts in how you see your own life. I will see you in the next one.